Good evening, everyone, and welcome inside East Gymnasium here at Fort Lee High School for our fifth and final game of the 2023 Bergen County Showcase event. And it's going to be a good one here between two powers in North 1 Group 2. It's the Elmwood Park Crusaders, 11-2 on the season, taking on the Ramsey Rams, 12-1 overall. Hello, everyone. I am Dan Long, joined alongside by Renee Manisich and Dimitri Nanis. We conclude our marathon of a basketball day here under the bright lights in Fort Lee as Elmwood Park takes on Ramsey. In our first four games of the day, Westwood outlasted Emerson back early on in the morning. They won by one. Ridgewood went on to power its way past Demorest in game number 2. Pascack Hills held on late to defeat Fort Lee. And in our most recent game, St. Mary's fended off the advances of Dwight Englewood to win the fourth game. Now we head to our final game of the night as it's Ramsey 12-1 taking on Elmwood Park 11-2. Elmwood Park will be the visiting team. They are in their red, Ramsey in their home white. Opening tip is won by Elmwood Park, and we are underway here from East Gymnasium. Asim Asaf, number 1. He's the leading scorer for this Elmwood Park team. He's going to be the one to watch, number 1 in the middle of that Ramsey defense. Elmwood Park averaging just under 60 points per game this season, allowing just under 49. They come in off a win against Garfield their last time out. There's Asaf. In the middle of the lane, getting it back up top. Ramsey playing good defense. Contesting that shot opportunity inside. Here comes Elmwood Park with the putback. And then the second opportunity inside falls for Ivan Corsina Mejia. Corsino Mejia, who had 10 points in the win against Garfield, getting the first 2 points of the day for Elmwood Park. After a couple of offensive rebounds. Ramsey has won 6 in a row coming into play today. They are the top team in power points in North 1 Group 2. Off balance shot and the running attempts there from Max Nierenberg. He will draw the contact and will head to the foul line to shoot 2 for the 6'5 junior. Nierenberg sets in fires, too strong off the back rim. Head coaches for the respective sides, Stephen Herget for Elmwood Park and Mark Christensen for Ramsey. Missed opportunities there at the charity stripe for Nierenberg. Still remains a 2-0 lead for Elmwood Park. Dribble drive penetration. Now over to the near side. That's going to be on the baseline, out of bounds for Elmwood Park, and a turnover forced by the Rams defense. Crusaders have won 8 of their last 9 games on the season. Their only loss recently coming against Old Tapan on January 14th. Only loss so far this season for Ramsey came on January 5th against Pascack Hills, who we saw impressively knock off Fort Lee here at East Gym. Nierenberg hanging in the air and getting it to fall off the glass and in. 2-2 your score. As we come up on 2 minutes gone by here in the first quarter. Both teams combined 23-3 on the season. Asaf across the lane, offensive foul with the charge taken inside the lane. Tough contact underneath the hoop as well, as Ramsey will have his player slowly get to his feet. He seems to be okay, trying to shake it off. Michael Bernius doing a good job of drawing the charge. He'll come off the floor and be looked at for the time being. After, again, a lot of contact underneath, but don't count the basket. Asaf is going to be credited with his first foul of the game. So Ramsey now in a position to take their first lead of the ball game. Nierenberg passing it outside. There's a 3, no good. Fighting for the rebound underneath. What a tie-up ensuing behind the play. Big Logan Bond fell down to the deck. Here's a long-range 3 for Elmwood Park, no good. Karam's out in space. Crusaders get to it now as Angelio Mio, number 31, tracked down the loose ball. Crusaders dribbling up a storm, and they turn it over. as Logan Bond, who came into the game after the starting center, Michael Bernius, was injured, took over after getting that loose ball squirt through the hands of a couple players in the lane. Cross-court pass, here's a corner three ball for Ramsey, short. Nyrenberg trying to pat it out to his own teammate. Instead, it's David Forzani. Forzani going coast to coast. Too strong on that attempt. Here's a numbers opportunity for Ramsey, filling the lane. Nyrenberg has all 4 points for Ramsey, as the Rams take their first lead at 4-2. Nyrenberg had 3 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists recently against Cliffside Park in their last game on January 19th. Here's Pikanich. Up top, Ossoff. Picking up his dribble, outletting it up top to Pikanich. Senior forward handing it off to Forzani. Baseline drive, dump off inside to the big man who carves out the position inside, and Corsino Mejia, his second made basket of the game. He's got all 4 points for Elmwood Park, while Nyrenberg has all 4 points for Ramsey. 4-4 your score. 4 minutes gone by here. There was whistles, but no official timeout taken. Low-scoring game, spinning through the middle, but blocked away. Corsino Mejia says no to Robert First. Elmwood Park now with a chance here to retake the lead themselves. Both teams will be a part of the 2023 Bergen Jamboree, as that's deflected. Last touch off of the foot of Isam Ossoff with 30 points in the last game for Elmwood Park in the win against Garfield, 65-56 on January 18th. Number 1 in red was red hot that night. Corner three ball for Ramsey. Touched all of the rim. Good box out underneath by Corsino Mejia. Forzani trying to dribble through the host of a couple of defenders and got fouled in the way to the hoop. Not in the act of shooting. Foul on the floor against Ramsey. That'll be the team's first. Elmwood Park has committed 2 fouls so far here in the first quarter. Matty Stone has come into the game for the first time for Ramsey. There's a 3 ball. Ossoff is not on the mark there. He's yet to score in this game. Nyrenberg. He's got all 4 of Ramsey's points, and Corsino Mejia has all 4 of Elmwood Park's points. Tightly played game here defensively. Leaving off for Bond. Bond floated that one upwards, but did not get it to fall. Outlet now here for Elmwood Park. Mio handing it off to Corsino Mejia. Forzani twirling around inside, no good. Nyrenberg with a rebound. Nothing coming easily right now between these two teams. Nyrenberg out of control, but a blocking foul whistled underneath. And for Elmwood Park, that's going to be the second personal foul against Isam Ossoff. Second personal foul for number 1 in red. Third team foul for Elmwood Park in the quarter. As Bond will come off the floor, and coming back in the starting center, Bernius. Ramsey will save it before it potentially went out of bounds. Here's Stone. 8 points, 2 steals in the win against Cliffside Park. Dribbling out to space. 2:15 left to go here in the first quarter. Only 8 combined points between these two teams. Hanging their hat on their defense. Interior penetration, but overshot the rim was Noah Ide. Ide's missed opportunity there to give his team back the lead. Ossoff will call for a timeout as Elmwood Park wants to talk things over. 1:52 left to go in the first quarter. 4-4 your score in our 5th and final game of this 2023 Bergen County Showcase. this season. Elmwood Park 11-2 on the season, looking for their 12th win of the season. Their only losses came against Patterson Charter back on December 22nd, a 64-51 loss. And most recently, a 74-49 loss at Old Japan. Elmwood Park would be playing at home against Patterson Charter in their next game. So a couple of tough games here for the Crusaders against Ramsey and Patterson Charter, trying to get them ready for the stretch run in North 1 Group 2. The defender flying in by and in front. But Nirenberg, what a strong-armed rebound underneath after the miss by Forzani. Forzani ventures all the way into the bleachers to get a piece of that one as it's tipped out of bounds. 91 seconds left to go in the first, and that score is correct, fans. It is a 4-4 ball game. Here's a corner three ball knocked in by number 1, Robert First. First three of the game for either team. Ramsey back in front, 7-4. Good move inside, just couldn't get the finish. Elmwood Park trying to carve out space underneath in the offensive glass. 3-second call, though, against Corsino Mejia. One minute remaining here in the first quarter. Ramsey in front by 3. This is their largest lead of the game. Elmwood Park extending their defense. Dribbled inside, but off the foot of Bernius. Forzani trying to get by the defender. That'll be a foul whistled against Ramsey. That'll be a reach-in foul against the Rams. Only the second team foul against Ramsey here, as Robert First was the guilty party. Not a lot of openings here against this zone look for Ramsey. Wayne Carter into the game now for Elmwood Park. Carter underneath, weather the contact. He'll get fouled on his way up to the hoop. So that's going to be a two-shot opportunity now for Dwayne Carter, the senior guard. Made a great cut off the ball, found himself wide open underneath the hoop, and then got charged into underneath. Carter too strong in that first foul shot attempt. Elmwood Park had a season-high 7-game win streak, recently snapped on the road at Old Japan. Carter getting the shooter's roll off the back iron. Goes 1 of 2 at the line. Pulls Elmwood Park back within 2, 7-5. 30 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Nirenberg will dribble it up himself. Asif watching every step of the way with Nirenberg. Ramsey trying to hold for one final shot of the quarter. Hand off to Nirenberg. He gets it stripped away. And the loose ball foul. It's going to be a whistle against Elmwood Park as David Forzani picks up the foul. Forzani coming off a 20-point performance in the win against Garfield himself. He is yet to score. SM Asif has yet to score as well. And Elmwood Park is down by only 2. Nirenberg ahead of steam in front of him. Turns around and banks it in just to beat the buzzer. Max Nirenberg, the 6'5 junior, with 6 of Ramsey's 9 points in a low-scoring quarter. Ramsey will take their largest lead into the start of the second quarter, as Ramsey's on top of Elmwood Park by a score of 9-5. We'll be right back here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. 9-5 lead for Ramsey. Max Nirenberg, the junior, with 6 of his team's 9 points in the quarter, including that last shot that just beat the buzzer after that high bank shot. Elmwood Park has not gotten their leading scorers really going yet. Ivan Corsino Mejia leading the team with 4 of Elmwood Park's 5 points, yet the Crusaders are right there, down by only 4. As they always say, the old adage in basketball is defense travels. No matter where you play, they'll keep you in the game. But definitely for a team like Elmwood Park, they average 60 points per game. They're not used to being held to only 5 points in a quarter. How will they defend here against Nirenberg? Passes up top to Stone. Stone stops the dribble, and it could be a potential turnover. Forzani, quick hands there. Goes around the back of the defender, tries to get his teammate. Carter not able to cash in. Nirenberg now on the open floor. Hangs up in the air, passes it out. Ramsey, transition 3, got it! Michael Stone knocks down the triple. Second made 3 of the half for Ramsey. They are lethal in an unsettled situation, and Ramsey with their largest lead at 7, 12-5. Across the lane. There's going to be a hold on the floor against Ramsey. Both teams now committing 4 fouls apiece as we're less than a minute into the start of the second quarter. Ramsey a season ago went 20-8 overall, winning the North 1 Group 2 sectional championship. Playoff wins over Lenape Valley, Jefferson, Pequannock, and then against Mahwah in the sectional final. Maneuvering inside, but the big man for Elmwood Park left it short. Rebound of a hustle play on the floor, getting dirty was Ali Hochstein. Here's another three-point look for Ramsey as the Rams now starting to brim a little bit more with confidence. Asif got that shot blocked from behind by Nirenberg. Didn't know he was lurking. Asif is still yet to get on the board for Elmwood Park. He's coming off a 30-point performance against Garfield. Good extra pass, stuffed at the rim from behind by Carter. Despite giving up the inches there, he came from behind, showed off the vertical leap, and stuffed Bernius. Verzani not able to get it to go. Hochstein brings it down the other way. There's a lid on the rim for Elmwood Park. They have scored only 5 points in this entire first half. They cannot allow Ramsey to have that much separation and start to pull away here just in the first half alone. Nirenberg, good defense by Asif. Nirenberg getting it out to Bernius. Up top to Ali Hochstein. Asif trying to get in the passing lane. Deflected that one. They're going to say actually last touch deflected off of Ramsey. So a turnover there for the Rams. .5:55 left to go here until halftime. These two teams trying to position themselves on top of North 1 Group 2. Trying to split the double team there or reach in. No, they're going to say that that's a hook foul. And that's the foul. If that's an offensive foul, that's third personal foul. Nothing going well right now on the offensive end of the floor for Elmwood Park. They're staying in this game because of their defense. Next, Nirenberg and Ramsey on top 12-5. Trying to go to 13-1 on the season are the Rams. Bernius down low. Now both Twin Towers playing on the floor at the same time. Nice give and go from Logan Bond to Michael Bernius. 14-5 lead now for Ramsey. Largest lead of the game. Extra steps aplenty there for Forzani. Forzani took about 4 steps there trying to get to the hoop. .5 advantage right now for Ramsey. Nirenberg, kind of the point forward right now for this team. He's running the offense. Again, clear size advantage on the floor right now for Ramsey. Bernius maybe looking for Bond, is trying to carve out some space underneath on a holding call against Pikanich from behind. He's giving up not only height, but also just pure size inside. Logan Bond establishes himself down low. The 6'5 junior is not going to be pushed off the block. Bergen will get it back up top. Michael Stone handing it off now to Hochstein. 4:45 left to go in the second quarter. Bond underneath, curls around, reverse layup is good. Logan Bond showing off the fancy footwork underneath. The big man getting celebrated as he heads to his sideline. Ramsey now leads in double figures. It's a 16-5 advantage with 4:38 left to go. Timeout on the floor as Elmwood Park trying to make their adjustments and talk things over. (16-5), Ramsey leading Elmwood Park with 4:38 left to go in our second quarter. That's right, fans. Elmwood Park held to only 5 points in this entire first half, and they've yet to score a single point here in the second quarter. Ramsey starting to distance themselves a little bit here. Last season, after winning the sectional title, the Rams eventually lost to Nork Central 64-43 in the Group 2 state semifinal round. They're trying to get back to the promised land this year, maybe compete for a state championship. Carter, little helter-skelter with his dribbling. Now Pikanich. Right-hand dribble across the lane, tries to give and go to his teammate, too close. Corsino Mejia does a good job of keeping the play and the offense going with possession. That pass was too tight to handle. Ramsey's bench getting loud now to cheer on their defense. Pikanich around the side, doubled up inside. Verzani pulls up in the lane and he gets fouled. And is that going to be deemed in the act of shooting as well? Great defense until the foul for Ramsey. They have just been suffocating inside, especially now with this large lineup on the floor. And David Forzani gets Elmwood Park their first point of the second quarter at the midway point. Forzani also with his first point of the day. Short on the second foul shot, tipped around, and Bond secures the loose ball rebound. Good job of getting his body on the back of Corsino Mejia. Keep him off the offensive glass. Offensive foul whistled underneath against Bernius. (16-6), the lead for Ramsey. Mark Christensen talking things over with his defense. Ramsey has gotten it done defensively this year, allowing only 39 points per game this season. You can see why. Elmwood Park is just stuck on 6 points now. Only 1 point in the second quarter for the Crusaders. They just don't look confident out there right now against this defense. Carter tries to draw the contact. Bernius stays with him all the way. Clean block. Ramsey in the open floor. Bergen. Hochstein picking up the dribble. Now letting to Logan Bond. Bergen. Trying to dump it off down low to Bond. Bond gets the hoop and the harm. The big body inside. He welcomes the contact, and he has a chance at a three-point play. 4 points in the game for Logan Bond, a member of the Ramsey football program as well. Getting the job done now inside as the Rams trying to extend their lead. High arcing foul shot. That'll draw rain as he knocks it in. 5 points for number 33. 3:07 left to go in the second. 19-6, largest lead of the game now for Ramsey. Carter across the lane. Asif, pull-up jumper, got fouled in the act of shooting, and that'll send the senior guard to the foul line with a chance at his first points of this contest. Both teams with 7 fouls apiece. As Asif knocks down the foul shot. First point of the game now for the senior. Second foul shot, no good. 1 point of the game now for number 1 in Elmwood Park. Not hitting their foul shots as well. Now Ramsey trying to crash the glass. They miss it. Here's a rare transition opportunity for Elmwood Park. They'll have to slow it down. Great recovery defense by Ramsey. Step back jumper, no good. Just nothing falling here in the first half for Elmwood Park. They trail by 12. They're probably fortunate that it is only 12. 19-7. Their defense is keeping them within striking distance. Nirenberg off the screen. In the air, got it over to Bond. Now Michael Stone. Nirenberg with a left-hand dribble, tries to get into the defender, drops it down low to Bond. Bond, with a lot of contact, missed on the first chance, cleans it up. No, he missed on the second chance as well. Asif in transition. Again, too strong on the floater attempt this time. Bodies colliding inside the paint, and there's the scoop shot finish inside by Carter. Elmwood Park trying to garner a little momentum here at the end of the first half. 19-9, their deficit. Last 3 points in this game for Elmwood Park. Approaching the final 90 seconds of the first half. Bernius missing inside. Last touch off of the Ramsey big man. So despite having the huge size advantage, Ramsey still has not been able to fully finish off on those opportunities inside. We saw Bond and now Bernius missing a couple of putback attempts inside the paint. Well, the outside shots start to fall at some point for Elmwood Park. Asif, what a shake and bake move, and as soon as I say it, they do it. Is that the play that gets Elmwood Park in gear? That's Asif now with 3 points in the first half. Lead is down to single digits, 8 points. Bernius, extra pass, good ball movement, leads to the open shot, no good. Quick outlet the other way, 2-on-1 developing for Elmwood Park. Carter gets fouled on his way up, and he'll have to earn it at the foul line, but Elmwood Park starting to come alive and percolate a bit. 53.5 seconds left to go in the second quarter, and Dwayne Carter will head to the line where he's 1 of 2 so far here in the first half. Carter struggled at the foul line, though. Now 1 of 3 here in the first half. 4 misses already for Elmwood Park as a team at the foul line. Make it 5 misses. But an offensive rebound inside, and there's the lay-in. Corsino Mejia waited out a couple of the Ramsey players to fly by him, and he muscled his way up. He's got 6 points in the half. Chance of defense coming from a large contingent of fans who've made the trek here from Elmwood Park. 19-13, Ramsey's lead, which was double figures, is now down to 6. Nirenberg off the dribble. He gets contacted on his way up, and that's going to be a foul that sends number 3 for Ramsey to the line to shoot 2. 25.8 seconds left to go in the second. Max Nirenberg had all 6 of his points in the first quarter. Missing on the foul shot. He's 0 for 3 now from the line. Nyrenberg swishes home that one. He's got 7 points here in the first half, 1 of 4 at the line. Back to a 7-point lead for Ramsey, 20-13. Under 20 seconds left to go until halftime. A nightmarish offensive half for Elmwood Park, but their defense have kept them in this game. Can they finish off this final possession and have a little momentum heading into the halftime locker room? 5 seconds on the clock. Versani, step back, a deep 3 ball. Off the back iron, no good. Offensive rebound. Goes by the wayside underneath, and Ramsey will take a 20-13 lead with them into halftime here at East Gymnasium in a very low-scoring 5th and final game of this Bergen County Showcase Day. Stick around as we'll be back for the start of the second half as you're watching all the basketball action here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Welcome back here inside East Gymnasium as we're moments away from the resumption of play in the start of the second half. Ramsey on top of Elmwood Park in our fifth and final game of the day by a score of 20-13 in a low-scoring affair here between these two teams that are trying to be top 8 seeds in a couple weeks' time when they seed the North 1 Group 2 sectional playoffs. Taking a look at the stats from the first half of play. Elmwood Park had only 5 points in the first quarter, 8 more in the second. Ramsey outscored them 9-5 in the first, 11-8 in the second. Elmwood Park being led by their leading scorer, Ivan Corsino Mejia. He's got 6 points. Esam Asif and Dwayne Carter with 3 points each, and David Forzani with only 1. Ramsey on the other side, led by 7 points of Max Nirenberg. 5 points for Logan Bond off the Ramsey bench. Robert First and Michael Stone each with 3 points apiece, and Michael Bernius with 2. Ramsey trying to continue their hot start to the season. They're trying to win here and go to 13-1 on the season, extend their win streak to 7 in a row. Elmwood Park trying to go to 12-2 themselves and try to make it back-to-back wins on the season. Dan Long, Renee Matisich, and Dimitri Nanis. We've been here all day long in East Gymnasium. Happy to be bringing you the sights and sounds on this Fort Lee Athletics YouTube broadcast that can be seen live and on demand anytime for free. Ramsey trying to find their way into the winner's circle and join the likes of Westwood, Ridgewood, Pascack Hills, and St. Mary's, who all were victorious here today. Elmwood Park in the red, Ramsey in the home white. Starting off this second half of play. The question is, what type of adjustments have the Elmwood Park Crusaders made at halftime to try to find easier offense, easier said than done against this great defensive lineup for Ramsey. A very tall side, and that pass too hot to handle. It skipped off of Elmwood Park out of bounds. There will be a Crusader turnover to start off the second half. Ramsey sitting atop all the power points in North 1 Group 2. 305 points coming into play today, just ahead of Pequannock and Dumont. There's a bump foul underneath against Alex Picanich, senior forward for Elmwood Park. First team foul for either team in the start of the second half. 40 seconds into the start of the third quarter. Ramsey knocked down 2 threes in the first half. Elmwood Park without a triple. Forzani down the other way. Give and go. Extra pass. Finding a wide open teammate in Carter. Underneath the rim. Carter now with 5 points. Elmwood Park clawing their way back to win 5. Crusader bench getting loud, clapping in support of their defense. Ramsey struggling to generate a little offense of their own. First threw it at the rim. Good contest. The outlet, though, gets away from Carter, and that's a miscue there for the Crusaders, trying to break out quickly before Ramsey could set up their defense. Turnover gives the ball back to the Rams. Low-scoring rock fight here. Ramsey open for 3, and they knock it down with Michael Stone's second made 3 of the game. His defender fell down. He was all by his lonesome, and he cashed in on that big blast. Lead back to 8 now for Ramsey, 23-15. Asif being bounced there, and that's going to be a double dribble violation. Great recovery defense by Nirenberg. Ramsey over to the near side, trying to dump it down low to Bernius. Being bodied up inside, bottled up as well, and that's an errant pass, but it deflects off the hands of Elmwood Park. And it's going to be a timeout taken on the floor by Ramsey. 6:01 left to go here in the third quarter. Ramsey on top of Elmwood Park, 23-15, trying to cash in on a big win here tonight and extend their lead in the North 1 Group 2 sectional playoff PowerPoint rankings. Well, Ramsey's defense has been incredible so far in this game. Not too much of a slouch themselves. Elmwood Park keeping Ramsey at only 23 points so far in this contest. Ramsey held to 9 points in the first quarter, only 11 in the second. They've been opportunistic, though, playing to their lead as well. And at the timeout, Ramsey looking for an outlet, finally get it into Bernius. Three-point line extended. And another hold's going to be whistled underneath against Alec Pikanich. That's at least 3 personal fouls, I think, for number 5 in red. He'll have to come off, and Ilian Tavares will come into the game for the first time, number 11 for the Crusaders. Second team foul against Elmwood Park. Up near midcourt. Now Ramsey's starting to run their offense. Michael Stone trying to drop it back down low. There's a reach-in foul against Elmwood Park as the fouls start to pile up here for the Crusaders. They're not moving their feet, they're just playing with their hands. Third team foul against the Crusaders. Passing it along the perimeter, down low. Nirenberg setting it up top now to Michael Stone. Stone will hand it off. Nirenberg with 7 points in the game for Ramsey. He's the leading scorer for the Rams. Up top, handing it off now, Bernius. Nirenberg with a head of steam. Blocked at the rim, though, by Corsino Mejia. Ball is loose, though, and it comes out once again to Ramsey. Cross-court pass intercepted by Tavares. He'll slow it down and get it into the front court for Elmwood Park's offense. Asif trying to dribble around the defense. Goes out into the corner. 8-point deficit for the Crusaders. Ramsey has led a couple of times in double digits. Asif flaring over now to the near right side, dropping it down low to the big man. Turnaround shot inside the lane, no good. Fouls his own miss, tries to body up right in front. There's going to be an ensuing foul. And Elmwood Park will have their chance at the foul line, courtesy of Ivan Corsino Mejia. Corsino Mejia now with 6 points in the game. Did a good job of just muscling his way inside. And again, Elmwood Park has just not been able to convert when they've given great opportunities inside the lane. Missed foul shots are also really starting to pile up and hurt the Crusaders. They are now 3 of 9 from the foul line in this game. Corsino Mejia lining it up for a second opportunity. Too strong, missed on a pair. 3 of 10 now in this game. And again, the lead remains 8, 23-15 for Ramsey. 4.5 minutes left to go in the third. Logan Bond back into the game. They're playing with the Twin Towers right now. Nirenberg off balance, gets the runner to fall. 9 points now for Max Nirenberg. Lead is back to double figures. It's 10. Elmwood Park needs to get going here from deep. That 3, no good. Rebounded out in space. Here's Bernius in the open floor. Bernius about to take off, and he got hit as he was making his way up and underneath the rim. And that's going to be a foul on the play. Looks like against Carter for Elmwood Park. Bernius with 2 points in the game. Too strong on the foul shot opportunity. Coming up on the midway point to the third quarter. Bernius goes 1 of 2 at the line. He's got 3 points now in the game. 26-15. The lead gets to 11 points now with past the midway point of the third quarter. Who can catch fire here for Elmwood Park? This man has the opportunity. Asif, leaning shot, no good. Inside, offensive foul will negate the layup for Cursino Mejia. That time just a little too strong inside. Got called for the offensive foul as he was clearing out some space. Elmwood Park now has committed 5 team fouls, still with 3:45 left to go here in the third quarter. Nyrenberg getting it over to the near side to Matt Stone. Nyrenberg trying to take his man off the dribble. Nyrenberg nearly lost his balance. Asif extending the defense now for Elmwood Park behind the three-point arc. Nyrenberg off the dribble, left the shot short. Bond cleans it up inside on the offensive glass. Logan Bond, nobody putting a body on him. 7 points off the bench in this game now for number 33. Largest lead of the game now, it's 13, 28-15 for Ramsey. Nearly doubling up Elmwood Park here as we're approaching the late stages of the third quarter. Cursino Mejia, nowhere to operate underneath. Asif underneath, tries the scoop shot, layup attempt, no good. Bond with a rebound. Here come the Rams in the open floor. Nyrenberg, pass deflected away inside, and fortuitously it falls into the hand of Robert First, and a timeout taken by Elmwood Park as the Crusaders have now been doubled up. 30-15, Ramsey in front with 2:34 left to go here in the third quarter from Fort Lee High School. So Elmwood Park now facing a real tough hill to climb here, down by 15, 30-15. 2:26 and counting left to go here in the third quarter. The offense has to come from somewhere. I don't know where it's going to come, though. There's a lot of contact underneath. Elmwood Park looking for a call that's never going to arrive as that shot hits off the bottom of the backboard and out of bounds. Ramsey with good positional defense, and Ramsey also just not fouling. They've committed 1 foul here in the second half. Elmwood Park, on the other hand, have committed 5. That's a clean block right in front of the hoop by Elmwood Park. It said to Elmwood Park that you'd be holding Ramsey to around 30 points near the end of the third quarter. You feel like you'd be in a great position. Problem is that Ramsey's been even better defensively, holding Elmwood Park to only 15 points. A total that you normally see in only 1 quarter of play. And that's going to be a travel. Great defense there, recovering for Elmwood Park. The Crusaders can play great defense. The question is, how can they get some offense going? This is the first meeting between both schools since February 27th of 2018. That was in the first round of the North 1 Group 2 playoffs that year. Ramsey won 50-27. Well, Elmwood Park get to 27 in this game, not at this pace. Dumping it down low inside, carving out some space, kicking up top. Asif, he needs to get going. Teardrop on the baseline, that's what he needed. 5 points now. Isam Asif. 30-17. Ramsey operating now on the offensive side. Here's Robert First. Backdoor. Ramsey going hard at the rim, and Matty Stone got hacked on his way up, and Stone, the junior, will have a chance to get his first points of the game when the clock stopped with 1:06 left to go, and that is the 6th-team foul whistled against Elmwood Park in this third quarter alone. As Matty Stone rattles in the first made foul shot. His team with such experience from a season ago as part of their sectional championship season. 12-1 start to this year under coach Mark Christensen. Stone goes 1 of 2. Forzani. As now Elmwood Park getting it. Much needed bucket there for Elmwood Park. 31-19 the lead for Ramsey. Coming up in the final 45 seconds of the third quarter. Nirenberg dribbling up a storm. Almost got it poked away. Scrambled play here. That eventually does lead to the steal for Elmwood Park. Crusaders outletting it down the floor. Forzani trying to leap high. Could not save it before it was going out of bounds. Orsino Mejia was trying to outlet it down the length of the floor, but overshot his intended target. Another missed opportunity there for Elmwood Park. They've done this a couple of times in the second half. They forced the turnover and given it right back. 28.9 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. 31-19 the Ramsey lead. Only 6 points allowed in this third quarter by the Ramsey defense. They have not given up more than 10 points in a quarter yet to Elmwood Park, and that's a team that is 11-2 on the season. Stifling defense. Nirenberg holding for one final shot here in the quarter. Off the dribble, contorts the body and leans in for the runner. 11 points for Max Nirenberg. That's the second time in this game. And that half-court heave, no good by Asif. That's the second time that Nirenberg hit a shot just before the buzzer sounded. And Ramsey in control here, 33-19 as we head to the fourth and final quarter of play of this long day of basketball here at Fort Lee's East Gymnasium as you're watching coverage of the 2023 Bergen County Showcase here on YouTube. (33-19) Ramsey in control here, trying to move to 13-1 to start off this season. Playing not only for power points, but also potential seeding in the upcoming Bergen Jamboree tournament. That will be kicking off in this upcoming week. Will be seeded tomorrow. Ramsey has not trailed, as Elmwood Park has just been fighting uphill all game long when it comes to offense. The defense has done a nice job of holding Ramsey to 33. Nirenberg gets stripped on the play. Here comes Carter swooping in. Again, coast to coast. There's a little more offense in the open floor for David Forzani. Forzani up to 5 points. Starting to come alive here. It's only a 12-point deficit now for Elmwood Park. Little signs of life now starting to show for the Crusaders. Cutting across the lane. Shot is short. Offensive rebound underneath, though. Idy kicks it out. Here's a long-range three, no good. Tipped out again into the hands of Idy. Second offensive rebound on this possession for Ramsey. Nyrenberg, watched again by Asif. Bond flashing at the elbow. Trying to set the screen. Asif going over the screen. 6:45 left to go in regulation. Another long offensive possession here, kept alive for Ramsey twice thanks to offensive rebounds. First, Bond was open, but recovery defense underneath by Tavares. And that time, just running into Bond was Varsity with a big smile on his face. That is a lot of a Ramsey Ram to run into, as Logan Bond was just trying to backpedal his way on defense and couldn't get out of the way of Varsity, who drew the contact. Only the second Ramsey foul of the second half. Asif, 5 points in the game, loads and fires from three. That dead into the back of the rim. Rebound secured by Nyrenberg. Cutting across the lane was first. Had that carom off of Elmwood Park last, out of bounds. Possession stays here with Ramsey. Coming up on 2 minutes gone by here in the fourth quarter. Elmwood Park trying to make a comeback attempt inside, but Logan Bond handles it. Got it around the defense of Corsino Mejia. And Logan Bond's been a difference maker in this game. The big man, 9 points off the Ramsey bench. 35-21, the lead back to 14. Rosani up top to Asif. Now to Carter. Again, this Ramsey defense, they play a zone look, but they trap in the corners. Really is frustrated Elmwood Park, and they launch that pass skyward over to the far side. That leads to another turnover for the Crusaders. 35-21, the lead for Ramsey. Approaching the final 5 minutes of a long day of basketball. 5 days. I shouldn't say 5 days. Felt like it at some points today. 5 games here today. If you love basketball, then this has been your destination, and we hope that you've been enjoying these broadcasts wherever you may be. These are courtesy of the Fort Lee Athletics Department. I'm Dan Long. Was honored to be on the call of each and every game. That's a block at the rim. Elmwood Park with the save. And that's a nice move there by Corsino Mejia. Asif cutting down like a bowling ball underneath. And he runs into a pair of Ramsey defenders, and a blocking foul will send Elmwood Park back to the foul line to shoot two with 4:55 remaining in our last game. As it looks like a wet spot on the floor, so they'll mop it up before we get to the foul shots here today. Again, a collision ensued between Asif and a pair of different Ramsey defenders, so a lot of sweaty players draped along the hardwood here inside East Gymnasium. But thank you so much for everybody. If you tuned in here for this game or even more than just one game here today, thank you for supporting the student athletes, these programs that agreed to participate in this first ever event of the Bergen County Showcase. And it's been fun to see so much talent assembled here inside East Gymnasium. As Asif missing on the foul shot, he's 1 of 3 at the line. Eight misses now in the game for Elmwood Park. Second foul shot is true. 6 points now for Esam Asif. 35-22. Just the way that Ramsey plays defense, though, this feels like an even larger than 13-point lead. Nyrenberg trying to shake Asif away from him. He has played great defense as well against Nyrenberg. First, watched by Varsity. And a turnover. No, it's going to stay after Varsity got a piece of it. The way that he was running, I thought he was running down to the other end of the floor. Got a piece of it, so it stays with Ramsey. But first with 5 points in the game for Ramsey. Bond handing it off. Michael Stone, a pair of threes in this game. He's got 6 points. Deflected out to First. First give and go down low to Bond. Bond got hit as he was going up by Carter. And Logan Bond will be the beneficiary of that tic-tac-toe passing and will head to the foul line to shoot 2. Bond high-arcing foul shot, no good. It's 1 of 2 at the line. Bond had 5 points, 3 rebounds with the win against Cliffside Park. The last time out, 54-38 win on the road against the Red Raiders. And Bond goes 1 of 2 at the line. He's got 10 points off the bench for Coach Christensen and Ramsey. 36-22. Trying to maneuver right into the defender, but Farzani missing on the jumper. Time running short here for Elmwood Park in their comeback attempt. Past the midway point of the fourth quarter, 36-22, Nirenberg. Giving it over to Bernius, now pulling it back up. And here's where Ramsey is so effective and their experience starts to show. Just knowing that time is on their side. They can run a little clock. Bond maneuvering inside, hook shot no good. Farzani with the rebound. Farzani running right past Bond in the midcourt. But he dribbled too much, and he dribbled it off his own foot and out of bounds. And another turnover, a costly one at that for Elmwood Park in an unsettled situation. 3:34 left in regulation, 36-22. The lead for Ramsey. Trying to salt this one away and go to 13-1 on the season. Gain a good amount of power points in the process against an opponent that is 11-2 on the season. Elmwood Park having to extend their defense here. They cannot afford to give any more fouls without Ramsey going to the foul line as well. Across the lane, Bernius underneath the hoop. Twisting and turning and getting the and one to drop. That might be the knockout blow in this game for Ramsey. Bernius was seemingly bottled up underneath the hoop, but then looks like Elmwood Park kind of faded off him, and Bernius just took that extra opportunity and took it right up for the and one. He completes it with a 3-point play. 6 points now for Michael Bernius. So that is the 5th personal foul against Ivan Corsino Mejia. So Corsino Mejia, the big man, the senior forward for Elmwood Park, is done here tonight. He'll foul out with 6 points, scoring all 6 of his points in the first half. 39-22, largest lead of the game now for Ramsey at 17. Coming up on the final 3 minutes of action. Will this be potentially the first of 2 matchups against these 2 teams this season? Asaf was spinning around and lost his balance. It actually found its way into his teammate's hands, and it's going to be a pushing foul on the shot attempt as Carter will be sent to the foul line. Again, the foul against Ramsey, their 4th team foul of this second half. But these 2 could collide potentially in the postseason as both are in North 1 Group 2. Elmwood Park, the playoffs started today, would be the 8th seed, while Ramsey would be the 1 seed. So they could potentially meet up in a quarterfinal. As Carter missing on the foul shot. Carter 1 for 5 at the foul line. Makes amends, swishes home that second make of the game. He's got 6 points. 39-23. Full court pressure now being put on by the Crusaders. The near side, Ramsey give and go underneath, extra pass. Bernius waits for the defender to fly by him, but it's going to be a travel first as Bernius shuffled his feet. Ramsey not happy, not only at the call, but also feeling, why didn't their big man just go straight up? He's got the size advantage. He was too worried about the trail defender, thinking about he's going to get blocked at the rim. Seen that a couple times here today in all the action. A couple times players not being aggressive enough going up for it. That went through the wickets, and it's a turnover forced by Ramsey. 2.5 minutes left to go here in regulation. Nirenberg across the lane. Got bumped on his way up. Nirenberg will head to the foul line. He's got 11 points. He's the leading scorer here today for Ramsey. As Nirenberg missing on the first foul shot. 1 of 5 at the foul line. And it looks like with one of the officials talking about one of the fans, and is the fan going to be kicked out of the game? And it looks like that is the case, as one of the Ramsey fans was heckling the officials, and now that fan being asked to leave. Again, being asked to leave. So something here. As that's going to be another foul shot here for Nirenberg. Goes 1 of 2 at the line, 12 points in the game. It's a little bit of everything we're starting to see here today. Again, with the Ramsey fan being escorted out of the building. 40-23 lead for Ramsey. As that's going to be a layup inside by Bergen. Capping it off, and now a 19-point spread. Kind of wondering after that last play. Here's, again, Nirenberg maneuvered away to not draw the charge. Why the Ramsey fan was acting that way with his team up by 17. Good bucket there on the other side by Carter, but to try to figure out how fans are acting or supposed to act, that's going to be something that's very tough to understand in this day and age. 1:45 left to go here in regulation. Ramsey on top 42-25. As the Rams are powering their way to what will be their 13th win in 14 games this season. We broadcast all the games here for Fort Lee Athletics. We are the broadcast home during the winter season for the boys and girls basketball teams as well as the wrestling team. As we invite everyone who's interested in following our broadcast for the remainder of this winter season. We'll also be broadcasting in the springtime here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Baseball, softball seasons. So it has been a fun game and fun day overall here at Fort Lee High School. Getting to see so many different teams that don't normally come through these doors here at East Gymnasium. Ramsey has played against Fort Lee here in the past, and we've broadcast them. We've not had the chance to cover Elmwood Park. And Elmwood Park's going to be trying to bounce back after this one, and they're going to have a tough opponent next time out as well, as they're going to be taking on Patterson Charter at home on January 24th. Ramsey will have to go back home and host Riverdale in a Big North Patriot Division game. We saw Riverdale here as part of the 2022 Jack Riley Holiday Tournament field, as the Golden Hawks finished in 3rd place in that tournament. Elmwood Park trying to bat the ball backwards. Ramsey getting a piece of it and venturing forward. Bergen flying underneath, got stuffed as his way up, and that's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow favors Elmwood Park. Esamasov, despite giving up the inches, showing off the vertical there and stuffing Bergen at the rim. 91 seconds left to go in this contest. Elmwood Park not picking up the basketball, so allowing some opportunity to pull closer without the time ticking off. Bergen getting to the rim, and that time might have fallen awkwardly on his ankle as he was going to the rim there. We'll have a chance at foul shots here with the clock stopped with 1:24 left to go. Alex Bergen, the senior, has not scored yet in this game. Left that foul shot short. Second foul shot also short. A lot of problems here for Elmwood Park at the foul line and also just taking shots from the field here today. Nothing coming easily for the Crusaders like it normally does. Asif across the lane, tries to dribble drive, offensive foul against number 1. .107 left to go in the fourth quarter. Elmwood Park playing to the final whistle here. They continue to administer their full court pressure. Ironberg getting it up top. Bernius underneath the hoop. That time let the defender fly by him. And Bernius is now up to 10 points in the game. He's feasted here in the fourth quarter. 7 of his 10 coming here in the final quarter. Under 50 seconds left to go in the fourth. As that's going to be a blocking foul whistled against Ramsey. And did Ramsey just have a player foul out of the game as well? 43.9 seconds left to go as we'll take the timeout here as we're inching closer and closer to the finish line. .9 seconds left to go. Inbounds here as that was the 16th foul against Ramsey. Deflected in the hands of Carter. Carter going across the lane, just lobs it up at the rim wildly. Tavares tries to tip it in as well, and Asif tried to tip it in for a third opportunity, and that hit into the stanchion above the rim. That goes out of bounds. Will be possession going back over to Ramsey with 34.8 seconds left to go. We'll see if the Crusaders kind of call off the dogs here. Down by 19, 44-25, and it looks like that will be the case. No more pressure defense here with 20 seconds left to go. As Ramsey is on its way to a 13-1 start to the season. They will now push their win streak to 7 in a row. Elmwood Park will fall to 11-3 overall on the season. And will try to bounce back in their next game at home against Patterson Charter, as Ramsey will head home and host Riverdale in a Big North Patriot Division matchup. So the final score here from East Gymnasium in a low-scoring game. It's Ramsey victorious by a final score of 44-25. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in to our broadcast coverage throughout the course of today's day. 5 basketball games all here at East Gymnasium as part of the first ever Bergen County Showcase event. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. For Renee Matisich and Dimitri Nanis, I'm Dan Long saying so long and good night here from East Gymnasium.